What if you could commit the perfect crime? What if morality was just a social construct? What if guilt wasn't about what you did, but what it did to you? Welcome to Crime and Punishment, a psychological thriller wrapped in a philosophical novel. Written by the master of human suffering himself, Fyodor Dostoevsky. Set in the gritty, oppressive streets of 19th century St. Petersburg. This story isn't just about murder. It's about what happens after, in the mind, the soul, and society. Get ready to enter the mind of a killer. And maybe, just maybe, walk out with your own humanity challenged. Part 1. Meet Rodion Raskolnikov. Our protagonist is Rodion Romanovich Raskolnikov, a former law student, dirt poor, proud, isolated, and teetering on the edge of desperation. He lives in a tiny attic room, surviving off scraps and borrowed money, but he doesn't want pity. He wants meaning, power, and purpose. He's convinced that some people, the extraordinary ones, have the right to break the law for a higher cause, and he's about to test that theory. Part 2. The crime enter the target. Alyona Ivanovna, an old pawnbroker, greedy, abusive, and widely hated. Raskolnikov tells himself she's a louse, a parasite. Her death could serve the greater good. So one fateful night, he grabs an axe and does it. 2 brutal blows. Alyona is dead. But there's a twist. Her innocent sister, Lizaveta, walks in, and he kills her too. Not part of the plan. Now it's murder. Cold, messy, real. The so-called theory starts to crack. Raskolnikov escapes. But the punishment has already begun. Part 3. The psychological spiral. What follows is not a cat-and-mouse thriller in the traditional sense. It's worse. It's Raskolnikov versus his own conscience. He becomes feverish, paranoid, erratic. He wanders the streets, hears things, sees things, talks in circles, pushes people away, then clings to them. He swings between believing he's a misunderstood genius and collapsing under guilt and self-loathing. Part 4. The characters around him. This isn't just Raskolnikov's story. Dostoevsky surrounds him with a cast of deeply symbolic characters. Sonia Marmeladov, a young woman forced into prostitution to support her family. She's gentle, humble, devout. A living contrast to Raskolnikov's pride, she becomes his spiritual anchor. Porfiry Petrovich, the detective investigating the murders. He plays a slow psychological game, letting Raskolnikov talk himself into corners. Dunya Avdotia, Raskolnikov's strong, intelligent sister, willing to sacrifice her happiness for his future. Svidrigailov, Dunya's wealthy, depraved former employer, a moral chameleon, charming, dangerous, and unsettlingly similar to Raskolnikov in his nihilism. Each character mirrors a part of Raskolnikov's fractured psyche: pride, guilt, compassion, corruption, faith. Part 5. The slow unraveling. Raskolnikov becomes increasingly unstable. He lashes out at Sonia, then clings to her. He confesses to strangers, then denies everything. His intellectual theory has failed to account for his soul. Meanwhile, Porfiry closes in, but not with evidence, with psychology. He knows Raskolnikov is guilty. He just waits until Raskolnikov needs to confess, and Sonia, ever patient, ever kind, begs him to redeem himself. In the most powerful scenes of the novel, Raskolnikov finally kneels in the street and kisses the earth, admitting, if only silently, that he is guilty. Then he confesses. Part 6. Punishment and Redemption. Raskolnikov is sentenced to 8 years of hard labor in Siberia. Sonia follows him there, faithful as ever. But even in prison, the punishment continues, not physical, but spiritual. Raskolnikov remains numb, hollow, disconnected, until, one spring day, Sonia falls ill. and Raskolnikov finally breaks. He weeps, clings to her, and truly begins, to change. Not through ideology, not through brilliance, but through love, suffering, and faith. Part 7. Themes and why it matters. Crime and Punishment is more than a murder mystery. It's a study of moral philosophy, free will, and the psychology of guilt. It asks, what makes a person extraordinary? Can an idea justify a crime? Is redemption possible for anyone? And above all, it shows that the worst punishment isn't prison. It's living with a soul, at war with itself. Final word. Dostoevsky's genius lies not in what he tells you, but what he makes you feel. He drags you into the chaos of Raskolnikov's mind, then pulls you toward the faint flickering light of hope. So if you've ever questioned your place in the world, if you've struggled with guilt, pride, or meaning, then welcome. You've already walked a mile in Raskolnikov's shoes. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more stories. Thanks for watching.